The following program contains language, images, and/or subject matter that may be objectionable to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Direct from Albany, New York, it's time for the new Media Zone with your hosts, Ed and Dave. And now your hosts, Ed and Dave.
Hello and welcome to the new Media Zone special Colony Central Class of 1980 edition. Let's see, the tests. The SAT tests.
Oh, yes.
Did you prep for these? Were these very important?
I probably did prep for them. I did well on them. I think that's part of the reason I got into the Siena College. But I don't remember what I did. I do remember feeling some pressure that you had to do well on whatever the 1200, whatever, 18, I don't know what the hell the score numbers were. You know, what's the maximum you can get on them.
Apparently they're so important to some people, they remember their scores to this day. I don't remember, did I ever get mine back? I don't know what they were. Apparently I did well enough to get into JCA with the photography. But I remember not taking a big, making a big deal out of them.
Is that school still around?
It was absorbed into Russell Sage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember my scores, but I know I did well on them.
I know that's a big thing for kids and getting ready for college. I kind of went to the college fair and said, hey, they got some photography at this one. That's where I'll go.
Didn't they have PSAT tests?
Yeah, that was the get ready for.
Like the preliminaries?
Yeah. So how did you come to pick out your college? Because it's such a big deal today. I don't remember it being all that big a deal then.
I don't know. I just know that Siena College, along with, say, Union and RPI, which are more with like Union's engineering. I think Rensselaer RPI is more of an engineering school. I don't know what Union is. But I think those were far more specific, like academically, whereas Siena was, I think at the time it was more of a business school. And at the time, I thought I was going to be an accountant.
I was just going to say, it seemed like everybody you talked to then was going to be an accountant.
So I took accounting classes. So I went into Siena, took 1 year of accounting, and took another week, my second year. And once I realized this is awful, I changed the major to the ever popular and widely used social sciences.
Oh, no.
Where I took many classes in psychology and sociology, and then got the hell out of there.
Now, 10th grade, there wasn't a lot going on, but there were some annoyances, people annoying,
This will be equally annoying. Hold on. There you go.
So, just wanted to get through the high school. I kept to myself. I didn't want to deal with any nonsense or these a-holes we went to school with. So, do you remember there was a wooden track behind the high school?
Was it a bicycle track?
That's what it was. It took a lot of research to find out what that was.
Yeah, I think that was the bicycle track. It was on an angle.
It was on an odd angle.
Yeah.
There. So,
I don't think it was that big either, was it?
No.
Okay.
But for some reason on this, it must have been the cross-country cycling class. We didn't ride our bikes on this thing.
Well, that's what it was for.
That's not what we did. So it must have been towards the end of 11th grade, where we are now. And we're out there running, again, like that other story in 8th grade. I don't remember what happened before this story or what happened after. I don't remember dealing with this person after.
Hold on a second, wait.
No, not that one. That one, it would have been nice had it been that one here. But it was not this one. In fact, I don't know who the hell this was. or why he was doing what this thing that was about to occur.
I can't wait to hear this. Go ahead.
Okay, remember, I think it was this show. Remember, I was a big fan of the Hulk and the TV show, and how I would go on Fridays, watch the Hulk, and it was, what was that word used? Cathartic?
Cathartic, yes.
To watch as these guys.
Picture yourself as the Hulk,
Right.
tearing these people, bullies at school, or people who annoyed you, just throwing them across the room
Right.
as the Hulk.
Right. Watching the Hulk, I love that. So we are out there running around the wooden track. And
Not on the wooden track.
On the wooden
track. So you're on the wooden track, which is on an angle.
It was on an angle and up off the ground a
Yes,
bit.
it was raised, yeah.
And for some reason, there are metal barrels on the track. I don't know if it's to keep people from falling off. I don't know why they were there. I guess it was kind of to keep you away from the edge.
Okay.
So we're running along, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a guy, and it's getting closer. He's coming in, and I only had seconds to make these decisions I'm going to make here.
It's not barrel ass buzz.
No, he's coming in. I see this guy's coming here. There's a barrel coming up on my left here. This guy is going to push me into this barrel. So I'm running along, and 1 second later, this guy pushes me into the barrel. Down, I bang my leg into the barrel.
The barrel does not move.
The barrel, I think it did move.
Okay.
It could have went over along with me.
Right.
But he pushes me into the barrel, and it hurts, and I'm down on the ground, and I'm thinking, this is like an episode of the Hulk here. So what am I going to do? Am I going to get up?
You're rolling around with your eyes closed.
Well, Dave, I'll tell you what happened. I have 1 second to make this decision, and I'm down there on the ground, and I come up like this. With the Hulk face. And I start to get up like this. And the guy took off and ran off the track. I don't remember talking to this guy again. I don't remember anybody, the teacher, saying anything. But the guy went running.
So you gave him a Hulk face
I gave him the Hulk face.
and scared him off.
That is probably my favorite high school memory. As everything was, after that, nobody tapped me on the shoulder. I don't know if it went around the school or I just had the aura that I was going to take on anybody that.
You know, I cannot recall ever, other than the kid in Sand Creek, breaking my spine. I've never had an incident where anyone attacked me, tapped me on the shoulder, annoyed me to no end, threw me into barrels. No, I've never had. I generally made it through unscathed.
Well, that's good because, and I know there were kids that got worse than this,
God,
and it was mainly just except that last one. Now, if that had happened today, I would have sued the parents. I would have sued the school. I would have had luck. I did because it was just a bad bang on my knee. But
Wow.
let's take a look at some pictures that I found
Okay.
from newspapers. They were okay. Here we go. This was from the Times-Union. Did you see that, Dave?
I saw that one.
The students out on the lawn.
Yeah. We used to have classes outside if it was a warm day. Teachers would say, we're going to go sit outside, and we're going to do our class outside.
Yeah, I never did that, only the running. We never had any actual classes. The library was built in 1973, and that was in the final months where I believe we all got together.
Oh,
Jim
me, you,
Moore
Jim,
and
yep.
and Dave Stotwell sitting in there, and it.
And as I often like to say, the first time I met Jim, I believe it was you, came over to whatever table I was at. And I don't know if you were speaking to me specifically or directly, but I remember you saying this guy over here does this great impression
Right.
of Popeye. So we, you go over, and basically the impression was him going, ack, 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 ack.
I thought it was dead on, Dave. But
Now, what's dead on is, ack, 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 ack.
right, little do we know you did
I'm sure it was a little better. He did a little better than that. But
Right.
to me, the build-up
There's too much buildup.
to hear ack, 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 I'm like, okay. Yeah, so that's the beginning of the career
Uh-huh.
of the,
The Cable 2000 crew
yes.
was born right in the library, which was fairly new. It wasn't as bad as that Sand Creek with the gum.
So that would have been what, 79, 80?
Yeah, 80. I think mainly 80.
We got rights too? Why?
Is that the correct grammar there, Dave?
We
have rights. This is we can do some learning here.
Yes, this is all in front of the high school. This is a great endorsement to the English teachers.
And these were all people that were fighting for the smoking area. And I do believe that's Candy Rosano from my Sand Creek story there.
On the right.
On the right, of course, the leather jackets were all the rage there.
But they want rights for smoking. Is that right? Is that what's going on? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
They want their smoking area?
right. I think they were going to close it or something.
Well, God, kids, it's not good for you.
No,
Even then they knew it wasn't good for you. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
don't do it, you kids.
You're 15.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you can't even smoke. You can't even talk about smoking in school today.
God, movies are rated PG if someone pulls out a cigarette. Just for that.
Now, remember, of course, the classic Hulk incident I had?
Yes.
So later on, we would do a Hulk Super 8 film. And we're going to show some clips here. These, some great clips of Colony in 1980.
What it used to look like, yeah.
This was after we had graduated. I must have been so traumatized that I set this film in school. And you would think it would be embarrassing. It wasn't embarrassing for me to do my Hulk out on the wooden thing. But later on, I would be...
That's producer Jim
Yeah, there's Jim.
on the left. Yeah.
This young boy was a student that was on drugs here, Dave.
Oh.
And he...
Who is that? Is that who? No, that's not me. Who is that?
That's Bob.
That's Bob Bouchot?
That's not our editor, Bob Rousseau, no.
Yeah, I wasn't in this.
No. So here I was. Apparently it was okay to do this, or nobody saw us doing what was going on here.
Nobody saw you. That had to be it.
I'm sure we've replaced these bleachers by now.
So the student flailing there is on drugs?
He's on drugs, and these are the drug pushers. There's my brother
There's
who's
your
playing
brother.
Banner here. It's just kind of nice to see the old colony things here.
I didn't realize when you were on drugs this is what you did. You got your legs tangled into bars.
Now I did the stunt work for my brother here, falling off of the bleachers,
You did the stone work.
and one of those damn barrels. I didn't move it; it was just sitting there, and perfectly almost recreated my incident on the wooden track in the film here. There's my stunt work.
That's just stone work.
There's the damn barrel.
Oh, okay. Was this shot in color or no?
It is in color.
Okay.
We're not seeing it. And I think I do have one clip of your performance as the principal.
Oh, I was in this? I don't remember.
You weren't in any of these embarrassing scenes in green
Oh,
makeup.
was I in the embarrassing scene with producer Jim as the
Yes.
drug pusher?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad acting.
There's Doug, a member of our MEDIAZONE crew there. Who would have known while we were going to school that I would be running around in green makeup right on the football? I never went to a football game, but here I am in green makeup on the football field. Now, that's what I should have done, is run through one of those football games. That would have been there's a nice miniature there with Big Jim.
Oh, that's funny.
And I believe your scene is coming up. There's the drug pusher threatening the principal.
Coming out of the closet in his basement, his mother's house. Yeah.
See, you look pretty much the same, other than now you have quite the beard. But basically, we've held up pretty good.
I will take this old man beard any day over that look.
So there was a little film we did. I wanted to play this because here's our departed cast here
Dave
together.
Scott.
Dave and Jim in one season. Dave was Mr. McGee here.
Jack McGee.
Just wanted to get that in. Now on to 12th grade as we wrap up here. Do you have the 79?
No.
You don't have 79. Let's take a look back at 79.
I'm going to go quick on these. All right, movies.
All right.
God, I haven't seen... Kramer versus Kramer. The Amityville Horror. Rocky II. Apocalypse Now. Star Trek, the motion picture. Alien, the Muppet movie. The Jerk, Moonraker, and 10. Of those, I will go with Alien as my favorite.
Uh-huh.
And 10 for boobage.
I've seen every James Bond movie back to Diamonds Are Forever in 71, but for some reason I never saw Moonraker in the theater. I don't know why.
That's not the one with Lois Childs, is it?
Yes.
Wow.
I did see the nude bomb, though, for some reason, the Maxwell Smart movie. That I saw, but not Moonraker.
I did not see that.
What do we got in the...
TV shows?
Yeah.
60 Minutes, Three's Company. That's Incredible. Alice, MASH, Dallas, Flo, the spin-off of Alice. The Jeffersons, Dukes of Hazzard, One Day at a Time. And songs. My Sharona by The Knack. Bad Girls. Love Freak. Do Ya Think I'm Sexy? No, it says, Da Ya Think I'm Sexy. Reunited. I Will Survive. Hot Stuff. YMCA. Ring My Bell, and Sad Eyes. An entire list of crap. I mean, My Sharona is listenable, but the rest of them are pretty awful. La Freak.
Yeah, we were getting on some of the bad end of the disco there.
Yeah, that's bad. Village People.
Of course, Dallas making its way into the top 10 there. I wouldn't start watching it until after the Who Shot JR?
Oh.
And 80, and of course we know I've become a big fan of Dallas.
I wouldn't stop watching it until ever.
You never watched an episode?
I never watched
Dallas.
No.
Oh, no.
I watched 60 Minutes. Saw some Three's Company. A little bit of That's Incredible. The draw for me on That's Incredible is one of the hosts, I think at some point, maybe, was Fran Tarkenton, one of the co-hosts. And he was a quarterback for my favorite football team.
Now, things were kind of calming down and having fun in 12th grade. Would you say 12th grade was your favorite of the...
No.
No. It's just another year to get through.
Yeah. Just get this work over with. Let's get this calculus and psychology with Dr. Bryant and, you know, whatever weird, what was physics with, I think, Brolin was the teacher. He used to throw himself up against the chalkboard and do some weird, I don't know what it was. But let's just get this, the work just got harder. Let's get it over with.
Yeah. I remember being in the study hall a lot, or the senior lounge, they called it. I think I dropped most of my classes. And I remember the radio was on in there. I don't know what they had on 106, but I remember hearing such things as pop music.
By M?
By M, and Tusk was played a lot. Fleetwood Mac. Well, a lot of songs I remember blaring from the speakers in the senior
You could have 2 study halls, I think.
Yeah, I think
senior year. If you've got all your electives and everything and all your classes taken care of, you can have multiple study halls and just, you know, have the last period be a study hall and leave early.
I remember hard rolls and butter were very popular in the senior lounge.
I thought that was a song.
No. So we would be remiss, Dave. A word Bill like to use a lot. Okay. But we would be remiss if we didn't do our 2 favorite stories.
Oh, no.
from high school
Oh, God.
with our two favorite teachers.
Okay.
Mr. Mooney.
Mr. Mooney.
We didn't have phones then, but we did have little portable tape recorders. I thought Mr. Mooney was so funny, I brought in a tape recorder. He liked to, it wasn't harass, pick on, joke with.
Yeah.
It's more joking. It wasn't so mean-spirited.
Yeah, make fun of some students now and then.
But the favorite one was Donna Hildebrand,
Right.
who he called Cousin
It.
Cousin It because she had a lot of blonde hair. Oh, well, he was talking about voracious as a word and the Greek root. If you're a voracious reader, you like to read an awful lot. If you're a voracious eater, you will eat an awful lot. If you're a voracious kisser, like I see here in the hall, swap and spit. And then Donna was talking to him, and he was talking about how Donna was always in the hall swapping spit. And of course, the other classic story we would tell was Mr. Verdiak. The regents were coming, and he would go to the class. I guess you could take the regents exam or not.
Right. Depending on your final grade.
I think so. Yeah, if you didn't have to take it.
Right.
So he called every student up individually and whispered to them for some reason. Now, do you want to go for the regents exam or do you want to go for the academic exemption? I don't know why this had to be done in this manner, where every student went up, but Did you remember that going on, or is this just my memory?
No, I remember that, and I remember some of his bad jokes too about Greek prefixes.
Oh, you did the Greek one. What's the Greek one?
He would say, "We're going to do some Greek prefixes, and I don't want you to say it's all Greek to me." He was the only one I thought that was funny. And then you'd run into him at the bank because he was a bank teller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I guess that was the summer job maybe or something, but he was a bank teller.
Yeah. So
I liked him. He was cool.
Yeah.
I had Mr. Topping for science fiction class.
I had, who did I have? Oh, I think I had Verdiak for science fiction, and Miss Colgan.
Miss Colgan.
For the literature of the supernatural.
Oh.
Anything I could take that was anything related to something I enjoyed, I would take. Now we come to the end of high school here, Dave. It's been quite the journey.
My aching back. I've been sitting here for 2 hours.
Did you make any effort to ask anyone to the prom?
No.
No, that was not a thing you wanted to do?
Of course, I would have asked Diane Rissler,
Oh, jeez.
but she was, I believe, already taken.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of couples in high. At least, of course, we wouldn't get dates until way into the 80s. Usually, we went
until the early 90s. No, that.
The movies. We often went by ourselves. But in 12th grade, I had an art class, I enjoyed. And it was the whole year because sometimes they would be cut into quarters, but this art class was all year. And it seemed like there was a lot of 10th graders in there. So I was sitting at a table of 4 with Elise Richard over here and Ruth McGuffey over here. And they were totally different. Elise was sports and basketball and more outgoing, and Ruth was quiet and shy, and she looked a little like Bo Derek, I thought, at the time. So I was I liked her. I liked her a different reason. I like her. Geez, I think I don't really go out. I'm not outgoing, but I'm going to go to the prom. It's a thing to do in high school. Which one am I going to pick? Am I going to pick Elise? She's a little more outgoing. Ruth, she's a little quiet. And I come in to the class one day, and she's talking about the person she's going to prom, and she's talking about the guy she's going to prom with, and it was all over.
And neither one of them were named Ed?
No, I was not involved in any of the proms, so I did not go. Although there was a thought there. There was a thought that I was going to go to the prom, but it just didn't work out there.
Well, I will still take Diane Rissler to a prom. If for some reason, I'm sure she's not even in this part of the country anymore.
I believe Diane is married and in California,
Yeah, I think so,
that
too.
leaves that out there.
Well, you know.
But you are available for dating. But the actual graduation, any memories from the graduation, which was down at the Egg?
Down where I worked for 36 years. I just recall it was just very large. There's a lot of people.
There was 520.
Yeah.
And I counted in the yearbook. We're missing about 70 people who didn't get their picture taken, including me. That's a whole other story that we'll save for one of our shows. So, yeah, no major thoughts from me from the graduation.
Actually, I think our graduation, the ceremony, was on the same day as a Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran fight, which I wanted to watch desperately, which was being simulcast, I think, at the Washington Avenue Armory. And I would have done anything to get out of going to graduation to go to that fight. And my father was okay with that. My mother would have had nothing to do with it. I had to go to graduation. You only graduate once. I'm like, I don't care. My father was like, yeah, you probably should go. But yeah, that's the list I was on.
Yeah, I remember people went to parties, but I was excited because HBO was showing James Bonds. All the original James Bond films were uncut. Oh. So after the graduation, I went home and watched Dr. No was on that night. That was my highlight of after graduation. I did find my hat, Dave. The original hats. You couldn't find yours or you threw it out.
Oh, I don't have that thing.
You don't have this, which we wore 40 years ago. I had this on my head, Dave. As we graduate, and then we would turn it over on that side, and we go along. Were we supposed to hand the hats back? Because I didn't.
I don't know.
Most of the people had these hanging from their Trans Ams through most of the 80s. And then they probably got this color. But
I had no such desire to hold on to hats, any memorabilia. I'm not one of those people that I don't even think I have my diploma from high school or college. None of that. Why do I need that? I don't need that. I went. It's over. And other than this show, I'll never think about it again. Unless, of course, it's Diane Rissler.
Now, if I hadn't mentioned that we should do a reunion show, would you have even known that this was our 40th?
No.
At some point, it might have come to you, but no.
I would have never thought about it. It would mean nothing. It means absolutely nothing to me. It never crosses my mind how many years it's been since high school graduation.
Now, I put a month ago a page up, and if you have anything from Colony Central, it's the Colony Central Class of 1980 Facebook page. And I'm going to put some videos and these pictures I found up there. So we're just going to sign off. Happy 40th anniversary to all our alumni out there. Join the page we set up. Post your pictures, and the show will be up there. We hope you enjoyed looking back at what appeared to be a difficult journey for me rather than a reunion show. But you had your licks there, Dave.
Yeah.
You were attacked by some person. But we made it through, and that's important.
That's right.
We're still here, and we think about all these fond memories from 40 years ago. We will see you next time.
New Media Zone has been a Cable 2000 production.